So, to give a quick introduction about myself, I am Rajneesh Balakrishnan. So, I am the Intelligent Automation Manager here at To Automate Anything. So, who is the UiPath partner as well. So, I have been the UiPath MVP since 2020, and I welcome you all again. So, over to Sean.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Rajanish, for the introduction. My name is Sean. I'm the solutions architect for Ingram Micro. For those who are not yet aware, Ingram Micro is the distributor of UiPath products. So let's say if there are some of you who would be, let's say, interested to join UiPath and so on, Ingram Micro would be the one that you would be working with closely besides UiPath. I have been a UiPath MVP since 2021 and 2022. And I welcome you all, and I'd like to thank you all for spending this time and for joining. Now I pass the floor back to Rajanish to kickstart the
Excellent.
discussion.
Yeah, thanks, Sean, for the introduction. And yeah, so this is a new season that we are joining. So this is the first session of all the upcoming sessions. Right, so yeah, respected organizers, that is Tony, Axel, Amol, and Tom, who are not there, but they will be seeing the recording, and all the participants who are in this meeting. I welcome you all to this wonderful session on UiPath Cloud. So let us, we will talk more about this. So you know about the speakers, who I am, so, and about Sean also, we just introduced about ourselves. So this is the very high level agenda of today's meeting. So we'll be introducing you to the Automation Cloud. So we'll be seeing the Automation Cloud benefits and the services in Automation Cloud, and this will take a while. And once this is done, so we will check your understanding with a small quiz, and finally, we can have a discussion about any questions you have, and we will and try to answer your questions. Right. So let's get started. Right. So, we will talk about, so before we deep dive into the cloud concept, so I would like to touch base on few basic topics, which is called automation, the RPA, and the business automation platform, right? So, although the automation has transformed significantly these days, so I would touch base on these big four strategic trends in automation. Right. So first of all, it is no more a single tool, but it's a group of tools, and it is also a way of operating and a way of innovating and way of doing business. Right. And we all know customers are king, and they are our main stakeholder, and customer outcomes also have shifted these days, and it becomes a key priority and have shifted from tactical to transformational. And automation is no more, it's a niche term, or it's a buzzword, but it is nowadays in practice. It's a strategic practice. It is part and parcel of any company's, any organization's success. Right. So, and finally, it is the business automation platform itself, which will, automation fuel the transformation, not only the digital transformation, any business transformation should need this business automation platform. So long back when I started learning this UiPath or came into RPA during the 2017, it is the only one tool. People see this as only one tool. And we know it was used to be fast, reliant, and robotic operations is what people say at that time. At that time, it was very niche term at that time, and very buzzword as well. But nowadays, it's no longer a buzzword. It's part of, as I told, it's a strategic process. And, the business nowadays needs a business automation platform itself. Right. So that is why we are going to discuss about this most interesting topic, which enterprises can achieve higher revenues and profitable growth. So they are able to gain happier customers and employees, a permanently transformed cost structure, the ability to at last long use digital technologies to the fullest potential, and far greater efficiency, the speed, responsiveness in processes, and all using this one single platform that delivers fast, resilient, and automation fueled transformation. And that is none other than the UiPath Business Automation Cloud platform, right? So as you see, this is the one page which I shows this entire business platform, and we have in as part of the RPA lifecycle, we have different phases to discover what we can automate, and what are the business processes that we can automate. So you can continuously uncover opportunities for process and task improvements that help you identify the higher ROI areas. So we have as a UiPath platform, we provide multiple tools to the business to unearth the automation potential and to identify the automation requirements using various artificial intelligence tools such as process mining, task mining, communications mining, idea capture and management, and many other tools as well. Right. So so I'll give you a quick introduction on the process mining. So you gain complete transparency into your business process and transform them with automation and improvements that drives continuous operational efficiency. And task mining is you get an objective data-driven picture of desktop process quicker with few resources required. Then you will be action gained insight through the automation. And there is also like communications mining, which is like you can monitor and automate service conversations mainly to scale operation efficiently and improve the experience of customers. Right, and there is also idea capture and management, which means it is you can centrally capture and manage the automation ideas and process improvement prioritized by impact and ROI. So this is all as part of the business process automation. So initially, like we talk to the business owners or the business people or who are doing business, mainly to identify what are the processes in their business that can be automated or cannot be automated. And this can be done manually as well, but we provide specific tools, the AI powered tools, mainly to identify this automation. So once we identify this automation using all this set of tools, the rest of the things are going to be easy. It's going to be a walk in the park or a piece of cake. Right. So the next phase in this, the RPA lifecycle, is the automate phase. So in the automate phase, what you are going to do is once we are done with the discovery phase, and in this automate phase, we get more done with the digital workforce. So this is where actually the robots come into picture. So it's not only the robots, right? Automation is not only that automating the applications, it's all about the processes, the people, and the rest of the things, all the applications. So everything needs to be seamlessly collaborating together and with the people, and that automates the work via any applications, the desktop applications or web applications or APIs. That powered with native integrated artificial intelligence as well. So everything has to seamlessly work together. And for that purpose, we provide various tools and technologies and a lot of artificial intelligence tools as well. So first thing is the UiPath Studio, where it's also we provide for the developers, we provide the low-code development platform, right? So for building the business apps and automations rapidly with low-code and visual tools, you can automate the workflows, right? And also we have UI and API automation. So today, most of the latest technologies and applications, they provide the UIs and the APIs. They expose the APIs to send the requests and responses. Right, so we no need to essentially go and do a lot of clicks. Instead, you make a REST API calls and you get all the answers in the API responses. So we can combine all this UI and the API automation for maximum scale. So once the automation is done, with UiPath Cloud robots, you can easily scale up or scale down, depends on the demand we have for automation. Right, and also the speed can be increased across the broadest range of systems. Okay, and process orchestrations. So we have the automation solution ready. We have UI and API automation solution ready. So, in the UI and API automation, we combine UI and the API automation as well. And in the process orchestration, all we do is we create smarter decision making, right? We are not only we do the create smarter decision making, we also collaborate between the people and robot. So, it's not only that a robot is going to do all the work in a business environment. It's also at times people also need to collaborate with the robot. So we need the smart skills, the intelligent skills of the human as well. We cannot just ignore the people because we are automating. It's not that. So it's that, people and robots work collaboratively. People need to assess whether the robot is doing the right thing and, agree or disagree with the robot. So it's all need to work together. And one another interesting piece of work is the intelligent document processing. So it's mainly in the high level, we remove the work from the paperwork with the semantic understanding of a wide range of documents. It's not only understanding the documents, we also accurately understand the documents, and also the processing time is more quicker. Right, so that is called intelligent document processing, and we have various tools and technology and a lot of machine learning models in that. So we will look into in depth later. But on that same side, there are also integrated NLP and AI ML, which means it makes your robot smarter. Right, it's not only do repeated jobs by just clicking and doing API calls, but it also make decisions. The robot is much smarter with NLP and seamlessly use artificial intelligence and machine learning models, mainly to automate and perform more sophisticated work. Right. So now we have discovered and we have automated these processes. And finally, what we need to do is it comes into the operational phase. So in the operational phase, what happens, an enterprise grade foundation to run and optimize a mission critical automation program is highly necessary to improve, increase or decrease the scale. Mainly to high scale, we are just we need the operation up and running. So for that, we also have multiple tools. So one of that is analytics. You have analytics because you get how much the operational and business insight that you need for your automation program. So it has a capability to see all those things. And continuous testing. So there is a specific specialized advanced tool in UiPath, which gives you an option to perform continuous testing, so that you can guarantee the reliability of the continuous testing and monitor your automation and the applications they rely on. So we perform both application testing and the robotic process automation testing as well. So unified management and governance. So you can manage and govern the integrated platform, the complete platform, and your automation program centrally at the lowest cost of the ownership. So the cost wise, we are giving a very significant benefit. And the flexible deployment means you can deploy the complete cloud native platform, SaaS or self-hosted, for maximum flexibility. Right. So this is everything into the single page, which is we call that as also the UiPath Automation Cloud. What's UiPath Automation Cloud? It's a cloud portal, right? Basically, so we provide a portal to use in order to manage all the automation work that we have done. So you saw there are various tools. There are so many tools available in UiPath. It's not just one single tool, but it's a combination of tool, or we call it as a automation platform, right? So when there is an automation platform, so to operate everything in this cloud, we need a cloud portal, mainly in order to manage all the automation work and resources from a single place, right? So that is called automation cloud. And also we have the self automation suite and also the on-prem as well. If some customers or enterprises don't want to go with the cloud, and they also have option to host it in their own environment, which is we call this as also as a private cloud, and also we call it as an on-prem as well, right? So, and what will happen as part of this automation cloud is an instance of an UiPath product will be available through this automation cloud. So as you know, there will be a lot of different services available, which you will be seeing later in this session, like Orchestrator, Apps, AI Center, and Automation Hub. So you will be getting one instances of that for a specific tenant. So for example, in an enterprise, you consider there will be multiple departments. So each of that you can consider as a tenant. For example, sales, a product team, a development team, everything is considered as a tenant. But not everybody wants the same service. So different tenants want different services, right? So one of the tenant needs apps, and the another tenant needs Orchestrator, and another needs Automation Hub. So it's very easy to manage everything in a single portal. So we give tenant. So what we call is the enterprise, which is the highest level of the structuring in the automation cloud. So whenever you sign up for a new sign up for the UiPath product, so that is the highest level structuring, so which will create an organization for you, and you will be getting an unique URL. So with that URL, a subdivision of an organization, so which means to separate the business flow and information between the teams and the business lines. So a tenant can host one instance of each cloud service, and separate the roles and permissions for selected users in the organizations, right? So one individual, so as an individual if you are signing up first, you will become an admin, and you can give access to many other resources within your organization in the cloud. You can onboard all the users to the cloud and give them specific permissions in terms of the service level as well as the tenant level. And several other levels as well. You can give accesses to them. You can create groups, you can create users, and you can assign services at the various stages, right? So the users in the group also will inherit the roles and permissions, right? So I'll be quickly showing one of the high level of the tool, how it looks like. Just give me one moment. So let me bring. So first of all, if you want to go to log in to the cloud, so you click as cloud.uipath.com, or if you already registered, you will be giving us cloud.uipath.com / that organization name, right? So that is the first thing you will be doing. So here the company name is called To Automate Anything. I create as To Automate Anything. So in case if you are not giving the cloud.uipath.com, you can give us cloud.uipath / To Automate Anything. So it is so in your case, it will be your own company name. So it's also the same thing. So this is the cloud portal access that you get. So what exactly can be managed in the automation cloud? So my answer would be all the UiPath products that are available in the cloud can be activated, configured, and accessed via this cloud without any prior setup, right? So users license and tenant can be managed here from this unique administration panel. So we call this as administration panel, and you can see there are multiple tenants are created. The same thing you can also see here. So there are the HR and sales and one To Automate Anything core product team as well. So in terms of the administrations, you have access to the tenants. You can create multiple tenants here. So I have reached to the maximum, but you can, if the license, if you have the maximum, you can create any number of tenants here, and you can give access to the license and the license allocations as well. So there are also accounts and groups where you can create number of users and number of groups and assign groups to the users, users to the groups. And also you can also create various robot accounts, right? So back to the automation cloud. So we saw in a high level what is automation cloud and what can be done. So software as a service from the UiPath. So there is no installation required. Everything will be taken care automatically. We can start it instantly and scale infinitely with complete enterprise automation from the cloud, right? So all the platform capabilities, no infrastructure installation, nothing is required, and it is always up to date. So every week, every bi-weekly, though, so there is an update on UiPath. Then and there, you get always the latest version of the updates, right? So why cloud? So there is like very similar to the sunlight and the kryptonite for the vampire and the Superman. The RPA service manager doesn't like the system upgrade. It's not only the system upgrade. There are many updates, even the UiPath updates and many system updates we need to do then and there, which is a showstopper for our automation. We are not able to scale. So that is the main problem. And all right. So UiPath itself won't cloud, right? So we will see more on that. So it's a UiPath based automation cloud, right? Yeah. So we will talk on that. So how does automation cloud work? So let's say you work for a company that opted for the automation solution through this platform. So in less than 1 minute, you can sign up and get the cloud access. Within the UiPath, it's not AWS or not AWS Azure or anything. So within UI, you will see it is only within UiPath it is created for the organization. Okay, and depend on the plan you have opted for. So one tenant for the different, you can create tenants and you get access to all the different services, right? So what happens, you will be registered for the licenses as well, and based on the license it will allow you to scale up at the tenant level as well as the organization level, right? So every UiPath product, as I told, we have access to several UiPath product, and all this product are designed and developed with security in mind. And security is built directly into our life cycle by performing both automated security scans and penetration testing as well. So we submit our releases to some independent third party. They are also called as Veracode at the highest level, just to ensure that our security is most trusted and it is certified, right? So these are the benefits. It is the most comprehensive platform, the fastest path to automation value, the highest ROI option for new customers. It's flexible, enterprise ready, the most adaptable and scalable delivery, and trust and security, as I touched base on this point, right? So it's we call this as a most comprehensive platform, mainly because it's the complete UiPath platform. It has all the products and different tenant-based management with 6 regions, including Australia, right? Automation, cloud robots, you can run from any region with no infrastructure at all. Complete lifecycle management and governance are provided, role-based portal access to all services. So we call this as a fastest path, mainly because within minutes you are able to scale up or down, depends on how you need, and it's the highest ROI options because flexible license cost as well as there is no local server needed. So cost wise you are going to pay only for what you are using it, right? So it's flexibly enterprise ready, so which also you will be seeing in the upcoming sessions. And it's most adaptable and scalable because it's in the cloud. Because it is the cloud first, it is the customer choices, right? And trust and security, we always have the highest level of trust and the security because it is we provide that kind of certifications in terms of all the domains that we operate. Right. So, I'll pass on to Sean for the rest of this session for the services in automation cloud.
Sorry about that, guys. I realized I was speaking on mute and had a hard time finding the unmute button, which is just actually in front of my screen. Just wanted to check if you're able to see my screen. It should show you services in Automation Cloud in full screen mode.
Yes, Sean.
Thank you. So Rajneesh gave an overview of UiPath Automation Cloud and also gave an overview of practically the benefits that we would have, as well as uh, the things that are available. I just wanted to show a quick summary of the overview of the UiPath Automation Cloud architecture. Um, as you are aware, Automation Cloud allows customers to start instantly and scale infinitely. It's basically a very secure platform where it has been tested by Veracode. It has various compliance available, either HIPAA, SOC 2, Type 2, ISO certifications, and so on. Right now, we actually have 6 regions available for Automation Cloud to be hosted on. It's either United States, Europe, Canada, Japan, Australia, and Singapore. And basically, when you leverage an automation cloud, you actually can create multiple tenants, like what Rajani showed us. If, let's say, so there will be instances that you can actually have more than 3, or depending on the license that you have, whether you're on Enterprise Pro, or whether you're on or an actual enterprise license or community edition. There would be certain considerations there with regard to licensing. I just wanted to highlight as well that with Automation Cloud, you already have disaster recovery and high availability configured for you. You can actually leverage on Active Directory or single sign-on on Automation Cloud as well. And you can actually connect different robots, whether this robot is actually residing on-prem, it's on a laptop, to Automation Cloud accordingly. As we begin with the services, we start with the Discover pillar of the business automation platform. Uh, Basically, whenever you're doing a process or implementing automation, you actually need to identify the process. And UiPath Process Mining actually is one of the key products that we can consider, because it analyzes the data from your line of business systems and applications. Whether, let's say, it's a SAP, Salesforce, those things, you're actually able to use visualization to give you a thorough understanding of your actual processes. It actually uncovers all process deviations as well. It's actually able to show you, let's say, the number of cases, let's say the average handling time each step has taken to be able to do those things, for you to be able to identify bottlenecks. And it actually allows you to be able to continuously monitor the capabilities that you can introduce, and identify further efficiencies that you can in add to the certain process. What how I see process mining is actually the back end way to capture, let's say, processes, because you're actually leveraging on logs that third party applications have used, and putting it via the UiPath process mining tool. We also have another product called UiPath Task Mining. So task mining is actually capturing the steps that the users are doing, or of that the employees are doing, and performing on their desktop to identify process improvement areas and automation candidates. One thing I'd like to highlight with task mining is you're actually able to export, let's say, whatever you have captured via task mining into a blueprint that can be leveraged on directly via the UiPath Studio. So at the same time, you're actually starting to build the project, you're starting to build the automation accordingly. We also have UiPath Automation Hub. And Automation Hub, how I see it, is basically a collaborative platform for your center of excellence to be able to discover the additional automation opportunities within the organization. So as a business user, I can actually have an idea of, let's say, what I feel I would like to be implementing within the organization, I would nominate it, and then the COE team will actually be reviewing it. Basically, as a business user, I would be asked, let's say, multiple questions. Let's say maybe by default, it's 5 questions initially, and then it can be customized by the COE team for you to be able to identify whether this process is actually rules based, whether this process is, let's say, is worth implementing and automating. I'd like to, and then here we're actually able to identify initially how much savings we can forecast via the automation hub as well. The COE team will be able to review the process that you have highlighted. Automation hub will assess whether the process is actually simple, complex, medium, based on its inbuilt initial process assessment tool, or inbuilt rules that have been put in the automation hub. And yeah, you can actually track and monitor the overall progress of the processes there. One thing I'd like to highlight, as of 22.10 release, you'll also be able to actually perform, let's say, checks with the existing processes. Let's say how much savings we're able to get, or what is the time it took for the process to complete as compared to the initial process understanding that you have with Automation Hub. Um, in Automate pillar, under the business automation platform, um, there's actually another product that is coming out of the block, which is the UiPath Studio Web. Basically, eventually, those for the enterprise customers, they'll be able to have access to Studio Web via the Automation Cloud. Right now, if you're an enterprise customer, you might not be seeing Studio Web on your portal because it's currently in preview. But the community edition users or enterprise trial users, they'll be able to see Studio Web accordingly. Basically, it's similar to UiPath. It's drag and drop capability. The good thing is you don't have to have any IT dependency at all. You don't need to install anything. You can start implementing and automating your process via the Studio Web. A key thing to note is Studio Web. With Studio Web, you can automate web-based applications. You can actually automate as long as you have anything, as long as you have a web browser available for you, whether you're using a Linux, whether you're using Mac, you're actually able to do that. However, we're talking about web-based cross-platform automations only as of now. And this is included together with the existing developer licenses. There are no additional licenses that would be required. When we implement processes, we used to implement using, let's say, selectors, or using computer vision or OCR. Um, of course, there's always a better way to do it. In this, a faster way to do it, a more efficient way to do it, is actually by leveraging UiPath's integration service. UiPath actually have a large catalog of pre-built API connectors that you can leverage on. And the good thing about this is it's actually a two-way integration, in the sense that you can have activities available for you to be able to, let's say, to perform crude operations, or create, update, delete, uh, uh, those things on, let's say, certain platforms. At the same time, you actually have a robot server side trigger. So let's say, if, for example, via Salesforce there's a new ticket, or via ServiceNow, or sorry, via Salesforce there's a new opportunity, or ServiceNow there's a new ticket, you can automatically trigger a robot to react and respond to those triggers accordingly. That doesn't stop there. With the 22.10 release, UiPath also launched what we call a connector builder. So they believe that they don't have all of the APIs yet. But with this connector builder that has been introduced, users will actually be able to rapidly add third-party business applications APIs as connectors in the existing connector catalog, or the list of connectors that we have. And you can actually share those creations via the marketplace as well. And once you've published those, you can actually create the connections and use that existing integrations that you have created with UiPath as well. And you can actually connect it with UiPath apps, your robots, the studios, and data service as well, and so on. So these are some of the things that I like the most with the most recent release, the connection connector builder. We also have automation cloud robots. So this was actually introduced last year. Basically, automation cloud robots is UiPath's response to software as a service (RPA). As you are aware, there are many RPA products. I've used various products as well. When we talk about software as a service, there's always the server side component being the SaaS platform. But we do not have, let's say, the endpoint available for us to actually become software as a service. At the end of the day, we still have we still need to have a laptop. We still need to have another VM to be able to run robots. Well, UiPath released UiPath Automation Cloud, meaning you can actually leverage on what we call robot units to be able to run and deploy VM Automation Cloud robots via Automation Cloud directly. So this is actually unattended robot that is basically be hosted via UiPath Automation Cloud itself. Which can also be connected to your customer's domain, or you also have serverless automation cloud robots that is basically a pool of robots hosted in the automation cloud that will be able to immediately run cross-platform automations for you. So yeah, this is available. This has been running and this is being used already. Um, we also have Action Center. So when customers plan to scale their automations, they actually need to bring robots and humans together. And this is where UiPath Action Center comes in. You actually have business processes that are what we call long and complex processes that invariably requires exceptions, escalations, and approval handling by business users. Humans can basically step in to the process and make the required decision while robots continue with their work. So this is what or where UiPath Action Center comes in. UiPath Action Center enables automations of advanced processes that require robots and humans to collaborate. Basically, if let's say there is a process that would require there is a part in the process that requires human judgment, human decision, the robot can automatically send this to the humans for processing for further checks, and then the robot will actually proceed with the next tasks accordingly. Good thing is with Action Center, the humans can actually do it via a mobile phone, via their web browser on the laptop. Um, and yeah, so and yeah, because it's in automation cloud, you're actually able to do that on the go. And the humans can actually receive notifications as well, whether it's email, let's say if something has been assigned or something are pending and so on, they actually have that option and ability to have that tracking. We also have UiPath Data Service, which enables users to model, create, share, and store business data in a centralized, seamless manner so that it can be easily accessed from within the UiPath products. How I see it is data service is a more secure, a lot faster uh, thing to use rather than leveraging on Excel. So as we are aware, 5 years back when you implement automation, sometimes you can use Excel to basically capture or to store some random information just as a form of storage. And the data service actually addresses this one so that you can have control over your data and you actually have your data more secure. You also have UiPath Document Understanding, which basically combines RPA and AI to help you extract and interpret data from different documents and basically ensure that you're able to have accurate data and process this structured or unstructured data, whether it has handwriting, whether it has signatures or checkbox. So UiPath Document Understanding leverages on OCR and machine learning to be able to extract this and then provide and then capture the information for you, and then let's say those things that would need some revision will actually be passed on to the UiPath Action Center as well. Whenever you're building a process that requires document understanding or something that requires, let's say, image analysis, language analysis, task mining, let's say, of language processing, or eventually reinfer, for example, or communications mining, uh, you won't be you would definitely have to think of UiPath AI Center. So AI Center actually bridges the gap between, let's say, people who don't do, let's say, data analytics or analysis, because it's basically drag and drop, a way for us to be able to leverage on machine learning and NLP. So you also can leverage on bring on your own models or your machine learning model, or you can leverage on existing Google UiPath open source packages as well. So this is where you actually train your bots to be able to, let's say, be familiar with the data sets that you are actually leveraging on, or using for your processes. Of course, we also have UiPath Insights for us to be able to track and monitor and measure the performance of every automation within the line of business, or within the organization as well. So UiPath Insights is actually accessible from within the UiPath Orchestrator, um, enabling instant visibility to RPA operations as well. So you have dashboards that are available for you, which is actually, there are, I think, 5 out of the box dashboards that can be leveraged on, including robot dashboard queues, processes, licenses, and business ROIs. And of course, UiPath Test Manager is also there. It's basically a part of the test suite. And UiPath Test Manager allows you to track and monitor your test cases. For you to be able to leverage on UiPath Test Suite. So UiPath Test Suite benefits those who create automations, by allowing us to be able to track and identify, let's say, the test executions. Let's say, what I like the most about it as well is, it's actually able to identify whether you have not created, let's say, a scenario, or let's say the scenarios have been catered for. And of course, as we all know, if we want to be able to scale up automation, we need to address that we don't need to be constantly having issues, or constantly trying to figure out or find the bugs. So with test suite, you're actually able to track and monitor the bugs as well. You're actually able to create various test cases, and you're able to map the requirements accordingly. Key highlight is test manager can be connected to your, let's say, other software development lifecycle management tools, such as Jira, for example, GitHub, and the likes. So let's say if you have a created requirement in Jira, it can automatically be passed down to test manager as well. And yeah, you also have test robots that are actually running within Orchestrator to run those test cases. Of course, UiPath Orchestrator is there. As we are aware, UiPath Orchestrator is the core product that UiPath has, one of the three core products that UiPath has when it launched. Basically, you're able to use Orchestrator to manage, monitor, optimize, and secure your robotic workforce. You're able to track and monitor your processes. You're able to configure the robots. You're able to provide role-based access controls. You're able to update packages, upload processes. You're able to leverage on assets, audit the processes, and so on. Basically, Orchestrator is there to actually control the distribution of your automation and logs the robot functions that and the user actions that are actually happening within your workforce itself. Um, for those who are actually worried about, let's say, security, UiPath Automation Ops has been in the market for more than, or for approximately, I think, 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, you're able to create policies within your organization to be able um, to be able to have oversight and control within the organization itself, give access to what is required or what is the minimum, and you're actually able to deploy this at an organizational level as well. So let's say for those who are RPA developers, they can have access to certain features. for those who are citizen developers, they can only have access to Studio X and so on. We can definitely talk more about that. And yeah, Automation Cloud, as we mentioned, is basically all of your server products available for you in a software as a service model. And Automation Cloud also allows you to leverage on software as a service robots, and as you are aware, software as a service studio web. Basically, Automation Cloud allows you to start instantly and scale infinitely, and allows you to be able to recover your ROI as much at a much faster rate compared to having an on-premise deployment. So how do you have access to Automation Cloud? Raj actually showed this to you earlier. Basically, you have to go to cloud.uipath.com and register. It actually just takes a minute to do so. What you just need is an email ID. It's not asking you uh, for any credit card and so on. So no credit card required to be able to have access to it. And you actually can request for enterprise trial as well, free for 60 days. Practically, that is with regard to the topic for today. But please don't go yet, because we have a quiz that will be happening as well. But before the quiz, I just wanted to mention, coming 23rd November, we actually have another topic: automate your mundane email and Excel tasks with UiPath Studio. Again, it would be with Rajanish Balakrishnan, our 3-time UiPath MVP, and myself. Um, I'll be putting onto another screen to actually show to just open the quiz shortly. And yeah, so if you can join, it's actually via menti.com. I'm already sharing my screen now with that one. I think there are some questions that I have not seen yet. Okay, so yeah, thanks Raj for responding. Yeah, so we go to www.menti.com and just use the code 33318781. I'll oops, sorry.
Yeah, just
Okay,
scan it.
so
If you use the QR code, you will be able to join this. Yeah, don't worry, it will be all easy questions.
so I think we have one participant already, two already there.
Come on, everybody join, just
Yeah.
give it a try,
Mhm.
but it's not
Yes,
that
that's right.
hard.
Three participants already. There are 4 people already here. Mm. Okay, let's start in the next minute. Mhm. We have 7 people in the chat. Okay, let's just ready with your phone. We will actually turn on. We'll put on the first question shortly. Sorry, I'm just give me a second here. Uh, why is that? Mm, the questions are. I'll just stop sharing quickly. Sorry about this. Just to confirm, you're able to see my screen, right? Sorry about that, guys. Just a quick one. Just ensure that things are so. Apologies for this. Um, okay, I'm sharing my screen once again. Um, and let me know if you're able to see it. Yeah, if I can just ask everyone to please join once more. Yep. Okay, we have one in the group. Don't worry, this will just be 5 quick questions. So there are 4 people in the chat, in the meeting. Or sorry, I'm not sure if anyone else would be joining. Let's let's Raj, is it? Do you see that it is working?
I think it came to the last
Yeah.
question.
So yeah, there was suddenly it's not working.
Okay. Just try to restart once again and see.
You're not able to see my screen now, right?
No, not now.
Okay. Meanwhile, while we're trying to, while I'm trying to fix this, yeah. Are there any questions?
So there has been one question. So, how do UiPath Cloud robots work with on-prem props such as
Okay.
ERP, SAP, etc.?
Okay.
Yeah. So how is your view on that?
So definitely, so there are 2 types of within the automation cloud robots. You actually have two options, or it's actually the serverless bots, or the ones that the VM cloud robots. So the VM
Yeah.
cloud robots would be the one that you would be using
Right.
if for example you would want to use, or if you'd want to use, let's say, ERP systems such as SAP or on-premise applications, because it's actually creating you a VM that you can introduce and connect to your Active Directory as well.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I also suggested. The VM based would be the best option. Yes. So the follow-up question was, the robots also will have access to the applications, right?
That
So
is
what will
correct.
be the roles? Yeah, for the cloud robots will also have access to the VMs, right?
The cloud robots will, so yes, so there's a unattended robot already included
Yeah.
in the cloud robots.
Right.
already. So there's an unattended robot license that can be leveraged on immediately.
Exactly. Yeah. That's good. Thanks for that. So I'll be sharing our LinkedIn link if anybody would like to connect with us, myself and Sean. So I'm sharing the link for both of us.
Sounds good.
Yeah, maybe you can give one more try to join this and see if it works.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, so far we have 4 participants in the call in the chat.
Right. Manisha,
Mhm.
Karuna, Ashok, Ryan,
Okay, 5 people in
Jones,
the chat.
Marco, and Pradam.
Okay.
You're missing two more.
Starting the
right? Let's see.
countdown. So I have 10 seconds to answer. Okay, 3 people got it right. Let's see who's in the leaderboard. Ashok got the lead. It's still everyone's game. There are 3 more questions. True or false? You can create multiple tenants in UiPath Automation Cloud. I believe Rajanish was showing this one earlier.
No.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks to everyone. You answered correctly.
Yes, that means
So-
everybody's listening. Great. So 2 more. Let's see. So yeah, so it's just a matter. Just remember, this is just a matter of who answers the correct one and the who answers the fastest as well. And yeah, seems Pradam is taking the lead. UiPath robots that are these are the UiPath robots that are hosted in UiPath Cloud. Is it automation cloud robots, hosted cloud robots, native cloud robots, or UiPath robots? It's yeah. So the correct answer is automation cloud robots or ACR. Let's see who has taken this one. Oh, it's Ashok and Pradam fighting for number 1. So let's see the next question and last question as well. That this is not for any double points. So let's just see. What is the connection builder feature of integration service? Is it a new computer vision offering, a new set of integrations, a low code tool, easy to create a connector?
Who is that one person? Answered the
Yeah,
low
who is
code.
this? Let's see. And it's it's Ashok.
Sure.
Yes. So Ashok won this round.
Hey,
Yes.
well done. Well done,
Yes.
Ashok.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations. Well, I think that's we're on top of the hour. We really appreciate you guys joining us. Yes, and as we mentioned, we actually have another session coming up next week on automate your mundane email and Excel task with UiPath Studio. And then this will be a continuous series that will be happening as well. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Rajanish, I leave it to you for closing.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So I thank you very much, Sean, for the good presentation, and appreciate everyone for joining. Yeah, please continue to do so in the upcoming weeks as well. Many interesting sessions are coming up, and yeah, finally, I thank you very much. See you soon in the next session.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you guys.